Hey, it's Risa G and Trevor coming in from Risa's Cluttered Kitchen for another Baking with Trevor session. The last time we got a really great response to the baking of the garlic bubble loaf, and so I thought I would teach Trevor how to make the muffins that I've been making for him since he's 14, and he probably his favorite muffin, right? Probably. And it was originally a banana chocolate chip muffin from King Arthur Flour that I got in the mail when they were trying to sell their newsletter. And at the time, Trevor was supposedly, we took him to an allergist, and he was supposedly allergic to eggs and to oats and a bunch of other things.
A whole bunch of crap that I was never allergic to in the first place.
Yeah, sort of. She did that pinprick test, and she did it so fast that I think she wrote down things incorrectly. But, so at the time, I thought he was allergic to eggs, so I used flaxseed and water for a substitute for the egg. I used spelt and barley in place of the oats. And instead of nuts, I used seeds, and we came up with a muffin that everybody loves. Also, I bake it in one of those, it's a silicone bar pan instead of a muffin pan. And it's become a family favorite. So I thought I'd make it for everybody. Okay, let's go, Trevor. Okay, so there's the recipe. Okay, and this. Okay, so here we go. First of all, I'm going to spray the scooper with a little bit of oil spray, because that way it'll make everything much easier to come out with at the end of it. That's the first thing. Then we are going to start up the mixer. We're going to put, this is half a cup of coconut oil. Okay, and it's organic and all of that jazz. Okay, so, okay, how about we put it in there? Okay, now, we're going to mix it up. What they say to do, as in most recipes, like cookies and batters, is you're supposed to cream the butter and the sugar. Now, this called for butter. Instead, I use coconut oil. And I use organic sugar. So, all right. So, we'll whip up the coconut oil for a second, all right? Then we'll put in the sugar. Okay. And we'll cream it for a minute. It says to preheat the oven, which I've already done, to 350. Don't need to lightly grease these silicone pans. Things come popping right out without it. So I do not need to lightly grease 12 to 14 standard muffin cups, because that is not what I use. I use this pan, and if there's any leftover batter, I put it into little silicone muffin cups and bake that off. So, okay, so just let that mix for a minute, and then we will beat in the banana and the egg. The flavorings, which is, usually I put in vanilla extract, pure vanilla extract, and coconut extract, because I'm using coconut oil, but I decided this time to try butter vanilla flavor. Butter vanilla flavor. Whatever. We'll see if it tastes good. Okay. So next is bananas. Okay. So we beat in the banana and then the egg. So there's a cup of banana. Okay. Keep that in for a minute until the banana is broken up a little bit. Okay. Now, next is the milk, because that was the egg and the flavorings already in there. So putting in 1/3 of a cup of milk. And then in here, in there, is 1½ teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using the Himalayan salt because that's what I got. Okay. And then, alright, it says if the mixture has a lot of lumps, to beat it at a high speed until they've nearly disappeared. And, alright, well, first I'm going to add in the flour. Actually, what we'll do is put this down first. Whoops. Okay, no big deal. Just lock it back in place. Alright, so why don't you slowly, well, put in about half of that. Put about half of that in. A little more. Until we get to the other kind of flour that's in there. Alright, this is a cup of King Arthur all-purpose. Alright, that's good. And a cup of, it's supposed to be whole wheat, but I'm using the white wheat, which I think has a little bit mellower flavor. So I'm going to put that in on a lowish setting. Alright, put in the rest. Let it slowly mix, because if you mix it too high, what happens? Flour everywhere! Do we want flour everywhere? No. Because who's going to clean it? Me. Alright, so let's scrape down the sides. That's what you have to do with every baking recipe when you use a mixer. Is you got to scrape down the sides and the beater a little bit. You're going to scrape down. Okay. Okay, do we have a smooth batter? We have a smooth batter. Okay. Now it says just to stir in chocolate chips, walnuts, and cinnamon chips. We do not use walnuts. We use a combination of, under here is a combination of pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds that I use instead of the walnuts, since you're allergic to nuts. Or that's the one thing we do know for a fact.
Everything but peanuts.
Yes. It used to be peanuts. When he was little, everything was peanuts. We were allergic to peanuts. Then we found out he was allergic to pecans, then cashews. Then I made pesto sauce one night and forgot there were pinoli nuts in there, pine nuts. And he blew up like a big balloon. And they gave him Benadryl and he was fine, but he itched for practically the whole night. So that was a mistake I will never make again on Valentine's Day or any other day. So that's why we went to the allergist when he was 14. And at that time, he was not allergic to peanuts anymore, but he was allergic to almonds, hazelnuts, pecans, cashews, everything else. So we use seeds in this house for that nutty crunch. Alright, mix that in. Then, the favorite part of this, a cup of cinnamon chips. It says optional, but tasty. By the way, that noise is Trevor trying to kill one of the many flies in our kitchen. That's because we keep on leaving the back door open so that the dogs can freely go in and out. But instead of the dogs going freely in and out, the flies are going in and out. All right, so I'm going to mix in a cup of these wonderful cinnamon chips. Okay, and that is that. We've got batter, right? Okay, now we're going to clear away this stuff. Okay. We're going to bring over our wonderful Chicago Metallic, that's the brand, Chicago Metallic pan. We're going to scrape off what's left of the batter on the beater. That's what this is, the beater. And one of our favorite parts is the cinnamon chips, right? Trevor?
I guess.
You always love the cinnamon chips.
I haven't eaten these in ages.
I know, and that's why I thought it was time.
I don't really remember them too well.
Yeah. Well, that's why I thought it would be a great snack for me for my break at work. And I thought that, A, you could learn how to make them so that you could pass on the recipe. So that you could pass on the recipe one day to your family. And, yeah. So, as I said, I do not grease this pan. It does not need to be greased. I have done it in the past because recipes say to do it, but I did not do it this time. And the last few times that I've made them. Okay, so I sprayed this with oil. That way that everything comes out. And, all right. And usually I don't even use a whole scoopful. What you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, okay? I'm going to put the scoops in. You're going to take an offset spatula. Offset spatula.
It's good.
That's good. All right. Offset spatula. And there's a small one. I've got a really large one. And I'm going to put it in and you're going to spread it around a little bit, okay? That's your job. Okay? So, not even a whole scoop. I usually don't even take a whole scoop. It's like 3/4 of a scoop because there's like I don't even know what size it is, but, right? And then if it's not enough, if it's too low, then afterwards I'll push some more in, okay? Okay. What I love about these is because of all the seeds and all the additions, they're crunchy, you know? So, they're good for breakfast because they've got nutrition in them, okay? They got all these seeds. And because it's coconut oil and it's unrefined, it's healthier. And because it's only a half a cup of sugar for the whole mess, they're not that sweet, which is lovely too. Okay? And
because my dad does not like sweet.
Well, these I don't give to him. I give them to you and me. He wouldn't eat these, I don't think.
And I'm not a big fan of sweet either, but I like them more than my dad does.
Yeah. You like them as a snack. You used to have them when you came home from school.
I like milk chocolate. He likes dark chocolate. Well, I like both.
You like both. Okay? And then I take whatever's left. There's usually some batter left, and I stick it in these, in the silicone muffin cups. And so we make,
You see, I like this because I don't have to touch it.
exactly. Yes, you and your touchy problem. That's why I gave you that job. Also, this, you do it mainly with a scoop, this one, so you're not touching it anyway. Alright. And it doesn't matter if you get a little something on the outside of the pan, because I'm going to eventually, when I clean it, I'm going to, I'm just going to put it in the dishwasher. It usually all comes off, so. Just like to top these off a little bit. And they don't rise a lot. Like most muffins, you have to put only 2/3 of a cup in the thing. It doesn't matter because of this pan. Okay? And, which is great. So I was thinking that I would make them because I needed something healthy for a snack on my 15-minute break. Something that I could eat quickly. Or I could have it for breakfast if I didn't feel like heating up something for breakfast, you know? If I didn't feel like eating an egg or whatever. So, okay. I still have I have enough batter in here for another 1 or 2 of these tiny ones. So, I thought what we would do, we'd do a little experiment. We'll do those 20 to 25 minutes in a 350 oven. like normal, 20 to 23 minutes, I think it is. It's usually closer to 23 minutes in our oven. And then, all right, and then the rest of this, I'll cook in the air fryer. Supposedly they say 370 or 380 for 6 minutes. We'll see what happens. And I'll have a delicious, I also like to go like that. All right, so we'll see what happens. I'm putting them in the oven at a 350 oven, and we'll see what happens. All right, I'm also gonna plug this in and put it in a 380 oven for 6 minutes. We'll see how these come out. Huh? They rise up, whatever. Okay. Recipe said to start with 6. The 6 minutes. Okay, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what magic happens between there. I know it's going to happen in the oven because I've made these so many times. You would think I'd have it memorized by now. We'll see what happens with that. You'll see the magic of these beautiful little pans and this pan, which I got at Marshall's years ago when I was looking for some other kind of pan. So, we'll see what happens with the air fryer. That's an experiment. We'll see what happens. See you back in a few minutes. Here we go. We've got a banana chocolate chip, quote-unquote muffin. More of a, what I call a muffin stick or a muffin bar. Chock full of chocolate chips, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and cinnamon chips. These are to die for. They're crunchy, they're soft, they're tender, they're perfection. Great for a snack, great for breakfast, great for your break at work. Delicious. So, if you want to see more Baking with Trevor, please click like and subscribe and press that little bell, and you'll be sure to get the notifications of all my new videos. Thanks for coming into my kitchen and watching us bake. Bye.